stand-up is the only art form where you have to fail in public to succeed. You know what I mean? Like, I can get better at playing the guitar by myself at home. But if I look in the mirror and tell myself a joke, anybody can call themselves a comedian. So I think what separates you from a bad comic is tenacity. My name is Ashwyn Singh, and I'm a comedian based out of Toronto. I moved to Canada when I was 19. I did computer science, got my degree, worked at a tech firm. But it wasn't until I actually went to an open mic with the intention of playing music, but it turned out to be a comedy open mic, and that's where it all began. The first few jokes that people knew from me were jokes about being an immigrant. I'm a comedian that happens to be an immigrant, not an immigrant that happens to be a comedian. So eventually you're going to have to break out of people's definition of you. That's when you've reached true success as an artist. My parents are here for the first time. They've never visited Canada before. So I put a tour date in every city that I thought they would like to see. I got my mom on stage one time because it was her birthday, so we cut the cake on stage and then did 8 minutes of jokes about her.
One odd day he called me, look, I can work for so many hours for somebody else. I need to go on my own. After 2 years, if I'm not successful enough, you're always there, I'll come back home. So
he's happy doing what he's doing, so I think it's worth it.
I don't think they were ever really all that anxious about whether their son can make a living at this, as much as they were anxious about, can anybody make a living at this? But then at the same time, I think they would rather I be happy by my definition than successful by their definition. Very mature English. Great job. I think I learned from scratch the business of stand-up, and a lot of what I say is funny because I learned it as a skill more so than it was a natural talent that I had. The tenacity of stand-up is very failure-oriented. So when you start, you have to find something that people know you for, and that's good because you found your niche. But you can't just do that for the rest of your life.
Your headliner, welcome to the stage, Ashwyn Singh!
I think the value of creativity is at a premium, and I want to establish that when I open my mouth, I'm saying something that means something to me. The next hour is going to be different from the one before it. This is creativity, right? And human beings represent human beings more than Indians represent Indians. I asked a woman for dating advice. She said, "Oh, Ashwyn, you have to love yourself." Have you heard this Caucasian sentence? Have you? I was like, are you aware that loving me is the one thing I need somebody else to do? Toronto, thank you guys so much for coming out. My name's Ashwyn Singh. Have a good night. This year I made stand-up that means something to me.